Today we are going to see Part D, Lesson 9, Part D. Discuss the important initiatives taken by the Government of India towards industrial policy. We saw about agriculture, now we are moving on into the industrial policy. Industrial policy, which has been taken by the Government of India towards industrial policy, the initiatives are industrial relicensing policy, that is the most important of objective of the new industrial policy of 1991 was the end of the industrial licensing or the license raj or red tapism. That is, red tapism means moving a file from one officer to the other officer by delaying. So this has been delicensing, isn't it? Re-reservation of the industrial sector. Previously, the public sector was given reservation, especially in the capital goods and key industries. So you see that the public sector was given reservation, especially in the capital goods and key industries. Under industrial deregulation, most of the industrial sectors were open to the private sector. So from the public sector, it is moving on to the private sector as well. Next, you see third point, reforms related to the public sector enterprises. Reforms in the public sector were aimed at enhancing efficiency and competitiveness of the sector. The main aim is to enhance efficiency and competitiveness of the sector. Abolition of MRTP. MRTP means monopoly and restricted trade practices, isn't it? The new trade policy of 1991 has abolished the Monopoly and Restricted Trade Policies Act of 1969. Foreign investment policy. Another major feature of the economic reform was red carpet welcome to foreign investment and foreign technology. These measures has enhanced the industrial competition and improved business environment in the country. So by these initiatives, what is happening? The industrialization is developing. This measure has enhanced industrial competition and improved the business environment in the country. Foreign investment, including FDI, that is foreign direct investment, and FPI, that is foreign portfolio investment, were allowed. Next one, we will see about the main feature, objectives or characteristics of special economic zone. Special economic zone means the government is taking measures to enhance and enrich the industrialization for the upliftment of the economy. So what is happening there? Special economic zone is formed by the government to enhance foreign investment, especially to attract foreign direct investment. So getting the investment from foreign and thereby increasing the economy, the GDP of our country. GDP is what is the gross domestic product of the country. To increase shares in global market, that is the international business, the trade, to generate additional economic activity in the country, to create employment opportunities, to develop the Indian economy, to develop infrastructural facilities in our Indian economy, to exchange technology in the global market, new technologies, new gadgets, appliances, all these things are brought into existence from the foreign country. Main characteristics of SEZ, that is geographically demarked area with physical security. That is, demarked area means to determine the boundaries. The determined boundaries with physical security is given without no terrorism. Next, administrated by single body authority means administered by the government. The enhanced measures initiatives are taken only by the government, isn't it? Only the central government will take all the decisions in India. Next one, streamlined procedures. There is a proper streamlined procedures in the special economic zone. Having separate custom area. Custom area means they have a separate area to enhance and enrich the Indian economy. Governed by more liberal economic laws. Very liberal economic laws means freedom is given in the government, isn't it? By the political, economic and social level. Greater freedom to the firms located in special economic zone. That is greater freedom given to the firms located in the economic zone, special economic zone. For what purpose? For the purpose of developing the Indian economy. Next we will see about the EXIM. Describe the salient features of EXIM policy 2015 to 20. What is EXIM policy? EXIM policy means EXIM means Export and Import Bank of India. So how the trade is taking place in India. Reduce export obligations by 25% and give boost to domestic manufacturing, supporting the make in India. That is, without bringing the products only from foreign countries, foreign investment. So they are supporting for the manufacturing made in India concept. As a step to Digital India concept, online procedure to upload digitally mobile app for filing tax stamp duty has been developed. Isn't it? You would have heard by our central government, our Prime Minister, isn't it, Mr. Modi? So what he is telling? He will making everything digital India concept online procedure to upload digitally. Mobile app for filing tax, stamp duty has been developed, and repeated submission of physical copies of documents available on exporter importer profile is not required. So everything is done in online, and this is, Indian economy is going in advanced position by with the help of our government, central government. Export obligation period for the export terms, items related to defense. So you see, export obligation period for export items related to what are they taking? The measures on defense, military store, aerospace and nuclear energy to be 24 months. Exim policy 2015 to 20 is expected to double the share of India in the world trade from present level of 3% by the year 2020. This appears to be two ambitions. These are the ambitions of the Indian economy. That is about from our government. Thank you, students. With this, I finish this lesson. We will continue the next class. The next lesson. Thank you, students. God bless you all. Study well.